Hi, in this video I will present you the process of setting up my Garden War beta project. So this is a game project and this is a multiplayer turn-based board game. In order to play this game on your computer, you can go to my repo, github.com/snow3442/professional. What we're going to do is to quickly clone this to our desktop. You can also get the zip folder as well. So I'm going to quickly go to my desktop, make a directory called projects, and then go into that directory. And finally, we're going to clone our repository by copying this link and then paste it here. So we'll git clone, and then the content of this game is going to be on our desktop. Should be very soon because the project is not really that big. So yeah, as we can see, it is done. And then just to verify, we have pretty much this project on our desktop right now. So now let's go to our IntelliJ, open or import. And now we'll go to the location of our, to go to desktop, you click on this icon, and then you go to project, you go to Garden War Beta, and what we're gonna do is open the Garden War Beta server. Right? We're gonna just click on OK, and let IntelliJ load the project for us. The first thing we need to do is to configure our project. Go to Garden War Beta Server, Source Server, and then main class. We'll double click the main class, and then it's going to be on our IntelliJ. But as we can see, there's a lot of red stuff, that's errors on our computer. The reason for that is our JDK is currently not set at 8. So make sure you have JDK 8 installed on your computer. And now what we need to do is File, Project Structure, Project, and then since right now we're 2020, and then JDK already has 13 as its newest version, or even 14, I don't know. But what we need to do is to change that to 1.8, and then also the language level at 8, and then we're gonna say OK pretty much. And now after a few seconds, IntelliJ will realize that and then get rid of the errors for us. Click on the green button right beside the main class, and then click on Run Main. And then after a few seconds, our program is fine and running. So we'll close the program. So we've successfully configured our server on IntelliJ right now. What we're going to do is let's now configure the client program. So we're going to File, Open, and then we go to the Garden War Beta client, and we're going to configure the client project. And then we're going to do client, we're going to do Garden War Beta client, go to source, go to client, and then go to our main class right here. We can see there's the same problem, so same solution. We go to project structure, and then we change our language level to 1.8 as well as our language level at 8. And then we're going to click on OK. And then what we need to do is the same thing. We're going to click on Run the main class. And our program is running. So there's a background music. For this video, I'm going to disable the music in my code right now, but you don't have to do this if you really like the music. So I'm going to exit the desktop, and now our program closes. You don't have to do this. So I'm gonna quickly basically get rid of the sound. Right, so I'm going to comment out the background music, and then this should disable the in-game music. We'll leave the login music for now. So you don't have to do this. Once again, this is just to make my video more pleasant. So now what you need to do, because this is a two-player game project, so you need to do the exact same thing on another computer, right? If you want to test it out by yourself, right? If you're playing against a friend, your friend needs to do that. So what your friend needs to do is to clone the repository and then run the client program the exact same way that I introduced just here. So I've already done it, but you just need to do exact same thing on the other computer. So I've already done it. So we're ready to go. We have one server, two client programs all set up. So what we're gonna do right now is go to our server program and run it again. And then we're gonna give a port number. I'm gonna give 8000. You can give something else as long as it's a valid port number. We're gonna click on host. And this host button disappears, means that our server is running right now. So it's very important that you configure this way. Server is running. Now we can run the client program. We're gonna click on run. So I'm in the client program, and I click on this run button. What we're gonna do is click on start game, and then I'm gonna quickly create my username. And then the IP address. To find your IP address, type CMD, right click on command prompt, run as administrator, click on yes, and then type in ipconfig, press enter, and then you'll find your IP address that looks similar to something like this, right? IPv4 address, something similar. We're gonna copy that. I'm going to paste that into our program, and now we're going to connect to our game. So there's no background music in game because I disabled that line, but when you run your program, you'll probably have a in-game background music, so there should be music playing right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help the other computer log in so we can play against each other. I'm just going to quickly do that. And then in that computer, it's going to ask you the IP address. You just type in the IP address exactly the same one as in here, because you are using the same IP address because the server IP is the IP address on this computer. So I went ahead and did that. Now, as we can see, Bob, the new player that is created, is here. So now the game is ready to play. I'm going to quickly explain the objective of this game. I cannot explain every detail of this game, but I'll explain the objective. The objective is to survive a climate change. The condition for you to lose is actually when your food unit here goes below 0. It means you have no more food and your people are starving and you lose the game. So how does this, now we have 10 food units, how does this go to 0? Well, it's our consumption level. Our consumption level, as we can see here, is at 2. Means every turn we'll lose 2 food units to feed our people. When we have no more, then we're gonna all die and we're gonna lose the game. So in order to get more food to survive, what we need to do is to plant different vegetables on the board. Right, so hopefully this starts to make sense. So this is the main objective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking too much, and I'm going to go ahead and try to use every single functionality once, without much explanation, because I want you to actually clone the game and explore by yourself. So whenever you want to See information. These are most of your tabs, except the last one. Last one is when you say, I want to end my turn and pass to my opponent to operate. But you can feel free to explore these tabs. Whenever you don't like the tab, you can click on the blue button. It will go away, and then you can check what they are. And every item has information that will tell you what you do with this. So basically, explanation of each item. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start playing the game. So. And I won't explain too much what they do, and then I'll leave it to you to explore what is going on, right? So fertilizer allows the plant to get more food when you collect them. So I'm gonna pass to my opponent. Yeah, once again, I'll just try to show you every single item without really explaining it because there's no point. So now, as we can see, there are some natural disasters that are happening with climate change. This is an important aspect of the game, which means more extreme events are happening when climate is getting worse. So you can see climate information with the weather report, each attached with the probability of these extreme events happening. And you can obviously see what they do and stuff.
People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing.
And when the climate reaches 22 degrees,
and all you can talk about
we're gonna have a speech of Greta and also a background music playing.
How dare you?
So I think I pretty much showed everything, and finally, when someone loses, the program is going to indicate. So Alex has starved to death, means we have lost, and Bob won the game. When we close, we can close the application, and that's the end of the game. And you can obviously restart the game and play another one, and that's currently it. So this game has been tested a bit, but I haven't gone through a complete test on every single functionality, as the game is quite complex right now. I don't have too much time, but if you'd like, you can help me work on the game, but I think the basic stuff is there. In terms of technology, this is using Java 8 as well as Java FX as the front end or the graphical user interface. I think the main challenge of this project was really the networking, because I didn't use any external APIs such as Netty to do the networking. So I wrote the networking code. There's also some multi-threading going on in there. So I think the most important part is definitely the socket programming in this project, as well as just communication between client and the server. That's pretty much it. This game definitely has a lot of problems, and it still needs to be worked on. But currently, I have a lot of other stuff to work on. So I'm not gonna issue another release anytime soon. But if you're interested, you can let me know, and we'll see what we can do together. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.